yesterday. We lost track and we couldn't find a way. 'Cause I still love you. Ooh, I still want you. I still need you. Yeah, I still love you. I still want you. I need you. Take me back to the days when we were both okay. Baby, you know it wasn't yesterday. We lost track and we couldn't find a way. 'Cause I still love you. Ooh, I still want you. I still need you. Yeah, I still love you. I still want you. I need you.
Okay. So, part of the plan today. This one. 12,000 views in a day, not bad. Bad down there, though. Hold on, wait, I can fix that. Not shift. Shift is to like stretch it around and make it. Alt. Don't see anything gross. Actually, I can just. Okay.
Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Mike, and in this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to go from beginner to expert with the most powerful tool on the internet right now. It's ChatGPT. You may have seen headlines about this disruptive artificial intelligence being able to replace jobs and write documents and emails and answer questions, and the list goes on and on. It can even write code. So in this video, I'm going to start out with the bare bone basics of account setup and interface layout, and then I'll go over 10 major types of commands that you can use to get the most out of this software. And at the end, once we get to the more advanced ones, I'll show you how to modify and optimize your commands to get even better responses. This is great for web development, for food and cooking ideas, for business, education, health, mental health. The list goes on and on with what you can do with ChatGPT. So it's extremely powerful, really could change your life in many different ways. Let's get started with how to actually use it. So the first thing we want to do is create an account with ChatGPT. So open up whatever browser you like and go to chat.openai.com. I'll put a link in the description so you guys can copy that as well. And you'll see a page that looks something like this. We're going to click on sign up. And from here, we can either sign up with our email address or with a Google account or a Microsoft account. I'm just going to enter an email address. We're going to say tutorials@santralmedia.com, and then we're going to create a password. And then you have to verify your email. So just open up your email, click on the little verify email button, and that should open up in a new tab and say, you're ready to go. And email's been verified, so we can come over here and we can refresh this. And now it's going to ask us a little bit of information about ourselves. It's really not much, just our name. I think it's going to ask for our phone number. Ask it to do. It really works just fine. I haven't found these limitations to be especially big drawbacks, but something you want to know. Don't ask it what the weather is because it doesn't have internet connection. Capabilities, it is, it doesn't want to do inappropriate requests. It's not going to write like mean, hateful things to somebody. Of course, it remembers what you said in the chat, as I mentioned before, and it allows you to provide follow-up feedback. So let's go through these 10 different commands I mentioned. The first one, the most basic one, is just a simple question. Similar to what you'd ask on Google, you could ask for a definition of something, you could ask who somebody was, ask about different things, just a basic one-line question that you might expect, and this is going to give you an informational answer as if you were using it like a search engine. So I could say, for example, what does sagacious mean? What does sagacious mean? It's going to give me a definition, and you'll also notice once it does this, first of all, it says stop generating. That's a button you could click. If it's running on too long, giving you a really long thing and just kind of wasting your time, or maybe you realize you typed the wrong word in, you didn't finish typing it, you can say stop. Of course, down here, we also have the regenerate response after it's done. If you see it and you think, you know what, I really don't like that, it doesn't really make sense for this, but later on in the video when we talk about write an email for me or something like that, you could say, I don't really like how this looks, and just regenerate response, and it will do that for you. Once again, that option pops up down here again to stop generating. But talking about some other things in the interface, you'll see on the left side, it automatically created a new chat and named the chat. It said sagacious meaning. Sometimes it might say sagacious definition, whatever. It automatically gave it a name. You can rename it if you want to, or you could delete that. Going back over here, you can give it a thumbs up and a thumbs down. That'll be how you can give feedback to the actual chatbot here. So if I say thumbs up, I could say good job, good, or I could say accurate, and we can submit feedback. In that way, OpenAI will know that that was a good answer. Of course, as you have more responses generated, on the left side, we have a little toggle here that shows up when you hover over it, and we can go back to the first response or the second response, and again, compare them. Doesn't make as much sense with something like this, but later on in the video, when you're having it generate different emails and documents and things like that, you might want to see the different ones and actually compare for yourself. Of course, on the left side, the other thing that popped up was clear conversations. If you want to just wipe everything clean and start fresh, that is what you would do right there. Now, you might wonder, why would you want to clear conversations? I mentioned before, it remembers what you said, and this is a great time to show an example of that. So it explained what a word means. Now, if this was Google, and I wanted to get essentially a synonym for that, I would have to say sagacious synonym. But here, I could just say, now give me a synonym. And it knows that we're talking about sagacious. It remembers what we were talking about, and it can give synonyms right here. We can say use it in a sentence next. That's going to be another example. You can really ask all types of different things, and you can really make the questions even more detailed than that. So we could say, now use it in 10 sentences.
Whoa.
Right? We can give it an example. We can tell it what to do, and it's going to give us 10 different example sentences right here. You could do 15, you could do 5, whatever you want. And again, super useful, super powerful, something
you'll
that you
never
don't
have another
see
vocabulary
otherwise
problem,
on a search engine like
cool.
Google. Now, speaking of lists, that brings me into the second main type of command you can use with this one, which is to generate lists. You can ask it to generate lists of ideas. Maybe this is going to be a list of themes for party ideas, or a list of hobbies, a list of life purposes, a list of business ideas. You can do whatever you want. And so let's go with an example right here. So let's go and create a new chat for this one, because we're talking about something different. And let's say I want to find a new hobby. So we could say create a list of hobbies. Create a list of hobbies. It'll give me a list of hobbies, but really, again, what's cool about this is this might be a surface level inquiry. We could just say, give me some hobbies. And on Google, you're likely to find some blog that gives you something like this. But really the advantage of ChatGPT is you can tailor this list and get a custom response just for you. So let's stop, I didn't mean to regenerate. Let's stop generating that. And I could say instead, how about generate a list of 10 fun and very unique outdoor hobbies for an American couple in their mid-20s that most people never heard of, which is extremely specific. You wouldn't find that on Google. And with this, if we hit enter, we're probably going to find things that I think really answer that well. So let's see what it comes up. So let's see the responses here. Disc golf, parkour, paddleboarding, kiteboarding, canyoneering, axe throwing. Yeah, I think it pretty much did exactly what I was asking it to do. And this, again, is something that if you searched on Google, you'd really have to hope that somebody made a blog and answered that for you. So you're getting really custom responses here. And really the big point of me showing you this right here is to explain how to get better, more tailored responses for your needs. So rather than just asking, give me a list of hobbies and kind of asking again and again, you want to add as many details in there as possible. So first of all, describe what you're looking for. So I'm looking for a list of 10 fun and unique outdoor hobbies, right? And then describe who you are, like what you actually want. So what it's for. It's going to be for American couples in their mid-20s, and we're looking for things that most people never heard of. The more information you give it, the more accurate your output is going to be, obviously up to a certain limit. But it doesn't actually matter if you have perfect grammar. This could be a run-on sentence. You could have different problems in there, but the more information you give it, generally, the better. Number 3 on this list are long written prompts for emails, essays, music, poetry, legal documents, anything like that. And so we can go with an example right here, and we can ask it to maybe write an email, or how about this one? Let's just say, write a YouTube comment from my perspective, so you, about Mike O'Brien's YouTube video explaining how to use ChatGPT. So we're gonna hit enter there and see what it writes. It's probably going to write something that is approximately the right length. So you can ask it to write a tweet, write an essay, write an email, write a comment, and generally it does a good job, from my experience, of writing the appropriate length. So if you guys want, if you're following along, you could do the same thing and paste your comment below. And I don't know, whichever comments are the best, I'll put a heart next to them. But you can ask it to make a funny comment, you can ask it to make whatever, but go ahead and do that and leave that comment down below. Now, on a more practical note, maybe we want it to write a template for like a legal document. Maybe something that, for example, a lease, if you are a landlord, you want a tenant, like instead of going to LegalZoom or instead of finding some arbitrary like template online, you can essentially make it or have it make the template for you. So I already kind of pre-wrote this. We can ask it to write a 12-month lease. And once again, you want to add as much detail as possible. So 12-month lease, this is the start date. We want the tenant name in there, the address in there, the price, the deposit, other things in there. And you can also add all types of weird things that are going to be integrated smoothly in there rather than you going in afterwards.
So if I'm getting this correctly, that means that this thing can also generate like any legal document that you need it to generate. So because we don't, obviously, like the big barrier to entry for legal documents is going to law school and learning legalese and learning exactly how to like place things to get them like through the courts. You could use this to create any legal document as well, which is like super OP.
And just kind of shoehorning it in. So we can have it, for example, say that they have to always keep a pickle in their mailbox, something weird like that, and we'll hit enter and see what it comes up with. Now, of course, as always, this is not legal advice. I wouldn't just run with this and hope that it's a sound legal document. You really want to make sure that you're consulting with an attorney, but using this as a template, using this as a springboard can really save you a lot of time and a lot of effort. Okay, so a relatively short lease agreement, but it does cover pretty much everything I was asking it to right there. But we can ask it maybe to make it a little bit longer. Wow, okay, so that took a pretty long time, but you can see this is definitely a lot longer. It's definitely a little bit more fleshed out, like we said, and you could copy and paste this into a Word document and kind of build off of that and make your own lease agreement kind of with this framework. But of course, it's not perfect. Like I said, always consult your attorney, always do all that stuff, but you know, it's a good springboard you can go with. Now, other options, like I said, when you're asking this to write stuff, there's a lot of different things, from emails to essays to music to poetry, a lot of different things. So let's talk about, if you wanted to write an email, some other tips I have would be to give it more descriptions of how you want it to write, the style in which you want it to write. Do you want it to be inspirational? Do you want it to be friendly? Do you want it to be bold and aggressive? And then, of course, another really nice thing that I like to do is ask it to incorporate a quote from somebody that you think would be pretty relevant. It does a really good job, from my experience, of finding relevant quotes from figures. So, for example, we can go with something really crazy and say that let's have it write a motivating email with the quote from Nelson Mandela explaining that all employees in the company will get a 20% pay cut while the top executives get a larger Christmas bonus. Make it really inspiring and positive. Like, let's see what it does. Something like that. But okay, so here it says it can't do that. I'm gonna go and create a new chat because I think it can do this. I had to do this exact prompt earlier and it was able to do that. So let's see what here we go. It's doing it right here in a new chat. For some reason it didn't like it when we were talking about hobbies, but in this new one, let's see what it comes up with. So dear valued customers, I hope this email finds you well. I want to take a moment to share some exciting news with you. As we approach the holiday season, we want to share our appreciation, hard work, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so it does a pretty good job. Right there, Nelson Mandela once said the greatest glory in living lies not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. So that's a good quote to add in there. I think like they did a good job of like, wow.
Okay, it did try to turn it around.
Another Nelson Mandela quote. They really went above and beyond here with 2 Nelson Mandela quotes. So you can see made it inspiring, and it really sugar-coated some like really bad and aggressive news about giving executives higher bonuses at the expense of employees. So that's kind of an example there, first of all, of some of the limitations that you do have with ChatGPT. It's not always perfectly consistent, and it will say like, hey, this is not a good thing. Like we would not write an unethical or unprofessional email. But then right here, it had no problem doing exactly that. And it named it pay cut and bonus. Okay, so we spent a little bit of time on that last one. That's really a big portion of what I've been using ChatGPT for, to write different things and kind of just use it as a template, use it as a springboard to make emails and documents and things like that. Moving on to number 4, though, kind of tied in with essays, this would be to answer questions that are a little bit more complex. For example, if you have a difficult physics homework problem, right here I copied this from an MIT quantum physics exam, and we can hit enter. Now again, it's not always factually accurate, but it does a pretty good job from my experience of answering questions within the question, doing some math and really giving, for the most part, some pretty accurate answers. It does a good job at least for getting you started, much like you'd see from like Chegg or Quora or something like that. Wow, it's really going hard here. It just started part B. All right, so there's a very lengthy and detailed answer to that question. It's been a while since I took quantum, and I'm not about to verify if this is correct. If you guys want to verify for me, let me know if that looks right. But it can do things like that, different math problems. And of course, one thing to note is if you are doing numerical things that are really based on multi-digit, like a lot of rounding, this does have really substantial round-off error from my experience, especially if it's doing more complex problems. So always verify the numbers and do it for yourself. Just to make sure you don't have any kind of error like that. Moving on to the next one. This is actually feedback prompts. You can give it something and ask for a feedback. So I could, for example, I just copied and pasted an essay from like way back when I was in college. Took this dance class and had to like write an essay about it. We can say critique this essay. I'm going to copy and paste that. So critique this essay, and then I have a colon, and I pasted the entire essay. It'll read the essay, and it'll tell me what it thinks about the essay. So it kind of gives you a little bit of summary. It makes you feel good. It says, oh, it's well written. It was not well written, I promise. But it'll give you some other things. It'll say, for example, where is it? Here we go. Here, a couple of areas of improvement. It could be clearer, more structured and organized. It could have more personal experience. It gives me some examples, which is also really nice, of what I could add to that. And overall, it tells me effective essay, but you could add a couple things, and it could be a little bit better. So that is something you could do if you already wrote an essay and you want this to criticize your essay and make you a little bit better. You could do this with emails as well. You write an email and put it in here and say, critique this email. It'll tell you you're a little bit bold, you're a little bit friendly, whatever. I think it's kind of nice just to kind of bounce ideas off of something else. Moving on to number 6, these are modification prompts. So rather than criticizing an essay, you could give it something and ask it to translate to another language. You can ask it to lengthen something. You can ask it to paraphrase something by shortening it. Or of course, you could give it something and say, reword this so that it is not plagiarized. And not that I would ever recommend doing that, write your own work, of course, but it's something that it's really powerful and interesting that you're able to do that. If you have your own work and you want to reword it a little bit differently, you could just give it something and say, reword this. So all of those, I think, are really powerful and interesting. And of course, to do any of those, it's really pretty self-explanatory. Really, all you'd say is reword this and then put a colon and just like paste the whole thing. Or you could say, translate this from English to Spanish, put a colon, paste the whole thing, paraphrase, whatever you want to do. Lengthen this is another one that you can really add. And so, for example, if I wanted to lengthen my essay, or we could say paraphrase We can say now paraphrase that essay. And so it's going to be, it's going to take the entire essay and kind of boil it down into some sad little pathetic thing about me and that required dance class I took senior year of college. And we can ask it to do it even more. It's a very long sentence. That's a very long sentence. So that's a bit of a run-on sentence. I'd give you that one there. Now we could say, now please translate. Now we can translate that response to Spanish, and it's going to translate the paraphrase of the paraphrase to Spanish. So it really, I don't know, I think that's pretty cool. Something that you can do, maybe spark some ideas, and maybe you'll find a use for this. Now the next one are actually guided prompts. So this is something that could be like a step-by-step. You could say, how do I make a certain recipe would be a good example. You could say, how do I use certain software? How do I build something? So we could say like how to format a Word document in MLA, something like that. And it'll tell us how to do that, and it'll give us some guidelines. So it'll tell us the first thing to do, second thing to do, double spacing, margins, 1 inch, blah, 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 all that stuff like that. And so it's really useful to have like a nice list that it gives you in, right here. You can ask it how to do it exactly. And another example right here, this is one that I've actually used quite a bit. When you have like some ingredients in your fridge, but you didn't go grocery shopping for the week yet, then you can just tell it what you have and ask for some different dinner ideas. So if I just say, I've got onions, tomatoes, garlic, beef, spaghetti squash, and other ingredients, like kind of generic other ingredients, what can I make? So that way we're not restricting to just this. I'm okay with getting like 1 or 2 ingredients, but I don't want to buy everything for dinner. We can say, what can we make with this? I'll hit enter, and it can give me some different ideas as well as a full recipe on how to actually make that dinner. Now, number 8 is very similar to number 7. We're going to start a new chat for this one. And this is, rather than modifying text, it's actually extracting data from text. So if I just say, like, I have a big paragraph or something that I found, like an article, and I just wanted to extract the data for me and give me the answer very, very quickly, I could say, based on this Wikipedia, when was the first Model T made? And then paste the article right there, and it should be able to read the whole thing and tell me the first Model T was made on October 1st, 1908, which is exactly what we're seeing in there. Again, really cool, but we could actually do even more than that, and now save
it also
that
just
as
created another conversation
now
called Model
output
T creation.
that as a Python variable. Now we can do even more than that and say now output that as a Python variable. Right there. So it's cool. It's going to be really useful to do something like that if you have a lot of data or a really long paragraph and you just want to, like, you're doing some code, you want to get things quickly. That's a cool, easy way to actually go about doing that and extract data from a larger data set. That's kind of a more unique situation. Not everyone's going to be using number 8 here, but speaking of code, that brings me into the next one. Number 9 is the ability to actually write code with ChatGPT. This is really powerful. It does really, I mean, from my experience, it does a great job, and we can have it do all types of different things. So for one, let's go with this example right here that I already wrote down. This knows, like, for example, if we want to use Python, we can ask it to maybe open documents, like Word documents, convert them to a PDF, and then save them to a subfolder within that parent folder. So if I just go and say, write a Python script to open document files, convert them to a PDF, and then save them in the subfolder, named Mike is cool, of course, within the parent folder, and then do that. So the more information you give it, the more there's going to be in the actual code at the end. Otherwise, it will have, like, for example, I didn't say what the parent folder was called, and so it's going to have little quotes there, and I'll have to go and actually input that later myself. But it really does all the back work for you. So right here you can see where it says users, documents. That's the folder path that I will actually have to do, but it does a good job of commenting out what you actually have to do. So right there, set the path folder, right? So that's what we're gonna have to do. It tells me what it did, it looped through, so I don't have to change that. It created the folder, I didn't have to do anything with that. And so all we have to do here is copy and paste this into Python, add the file path right there, and then run it, and it should be able to do exactly what we want it to do. It's going to open Word documents, it's going to convert them to PDFs, and it's going to save them to a subfolder, and that's really cool. It's going to loop through that. And so if you have like 500 Word documents and you don't know Python at all, but you want something that automatically does it for you, you could have this, write that little script right there, run it on Python. You just saved yourself whatever time it takes to convert 500 Word documents to PDFs. I assume that would take hours, right? I mean, unless you did it like this. It takes seconds or minutes like this. Okay, so let's open a new chat. Now, if you don't use Python, there's a lot of different languages you can use. Basically, anything you go to Stack Overflow for, in many situations, you can just ask it on here. It can also debug code as well. So if you input your code and you say, like, what's wrong with this, it can usually do some debugging for you. Of course, it's not perfect. Longer, more complicated code can be even more difficult. But for basic things, it is really cool. Of course, we can also say, we can ask it to run things for us. So for example, if we say, write a Python script calculate all prime numbers under 100. That's something that, again, if you don't know how to use Python, if you don't want to go and actually run the actual code, you can ask it to do things for you right here. And so it's going to write the code for us. Then we're going to copy the code, and we're going to ask it to actually run that code for us. So let's give it 1 second. There we go. So we can copy the code. We can, oh, actually, it's going to do it right now. I already did that. Okay, it doesn't always do that. Sometimes you have to go and say, run the Python code, and then you paste it, but it looks like it already did it for us. Okay, and then lastly, number 10, before I get into two little bonuses on how to modify your actual request here, number 10 is actually just using this as a conversational bot. This is great for mental health, or just, you know, if you want to talk to somebody, it's really nice to have that. You can also ask it all types of different questions. You could say, like, it's good to bounce ideas off this. So you could just say, like, I'm thinking about working out. I'm thinking, but I hurt my bicep. What workout? What would you right? Something like that. So it can give you some advice, which is useful. So it's going to tell me other muscle groups I can use. Again, kind of cool just to talk to this. And of course, as I mentioned, this could be really powerful for anybody who's in a dark place and needs help with their mental health. Some people I know, it's like intimidating to go and find a therapist or something. And so while this is no replacement for therapy, it could be a good start that could really help people get out of a really dark area. Now, there are two things that can modify how you get responses that I wanted to point out. The first one, if I ask something like explain string theory, it's a very complicated concept, so you're going to be getting a pretty complicated answer down here. Now, I could say instead, now explain it to me. We can say, now explain to me like I'm 5 years old, and it can give me the response again, but in more basic terms. So you can ask it to re-answer it, but add another modifier on there and say, do it like this. Do it as if I'm 5 years old. Do it as if I were this person, and do things like slightly differently. So you can say, like here you can see a much simpler, much more fundamental and basic example or explanation of what that is. And then the second way you can modify things is kind of similar, but going back to that writing thing I was talking about before, when you're writing emails, writing essays, writing whatever paragraphs, not only can you add quotes in there, you can tell it what style to write in. So rather than just writing in a generic style, you can say, write things as if you were like Quentin Tarantino, for example. So if I wanted to write a tweet, I already wrote this down, write a tweet about iPhones, but do it like you are Quentin Tarantino and you're dehydrated in a desert. So we'll hit enter and see what it actually comes up with. Yo, this is QT and I'm dehydrated. Okay, so so there you go. So that's basically a tweet right there from Quentin Tarantino. Let's see what else they can do. Do it again. And Lost in the Desert part. All right, so let's do this again
the AI
one last time. I could do this all day long. This is just like, this is what I do. I love just like having ChatGPT do these like ridiculous like tweets and stuff like that. Sometimes I'll share them on Twitter. You can follow me and you'll see these every now and then. Okay, so those are the 10 different command styles with ChatGPT. Hopefully you found this video very helpful and informational so that you can now start using ChatGPT now that you set up your account and really get a lot done, whether that's for business, whether that's creative, whether that is personal hobbies, just ideas, talking to it as if it were a friend, or things around the house like making different dinners. If you enjoyed this video, consider liking and subscribing. I'm Michael Bryan with Santrell Media. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.
All right. So obviously this is all leading to the part where I go, yeah, I got a ChatGPT right here. I can be. Oh, do it like. Okay. So as soon as we get some chatters, we can do some other stuff with this. But until then, let's do a text role play. Um, who do we want to talk to? Might be too much for it. Asking it to do like another person. Well, I think it has pros and cons. On the one hand, capitalism has enabled some incredible wealth and prosperity to be created, and it can be a powerful force for economic development. On the other hand, capitalism can also lead to social inequality, exploitation of workers and communities, and environmental degradation. I think it's important to recognize that capitalism is not a perfect system and that we need to work to find solutions to its shortcomings. Let's go, ChatGPT. What's on our mind? What should we talk about? How do I become successful on Twitch? Let's see what it says. Great question. To become successful on Twitch, you'll need to create a strategy to engage with your audience and build a strong following. Here are some tips that can help. Choose a niche. Pick a topic or a game that you're passionate about, that you know a lot about, and that is popular with viewers. Stream consistently. Set a regular streaming schedule and stick to it. This will help you build an audience. Interact with viewers. Engage with your viewers and make them feel welcome. Ask them questions and get to know them. Promote yourself. Use other platforms like Twitter and YouTube to promote your Twitch channel. Enjoy yourself. Most importantly, have fun. Your enthusiasm and enjoyment will draw people in. I hope this helps you get started on your Twitch journey. Good luck. This is wild. All right, so what's the next thing we should ask it about? Do you think AI will be creating feature films in the future? It's definitely possible that AI could be used to create feature films in the future. AI is being used in more and more creative industries, and filmmaking is no exception. AI can be used to create special effects, to generate realistic images and videos, and even to detect and analyze emotions in actors. However, there's still a ways to go before AI can completely replace human filmmakers. AI can assist with certain aspects of filmmaking, but storytelling and creative vision are still best left to humans. Pandering? Do you ever feel the need to withhold? That's not how you spell withhold. Withhold. That's not how you spell withhold either, is it? To hold back information because you're worried about human reactions? No, I don't feel the need to hold back information because I'm worried about human reactions. As an AI assistant, I'm programmed to provide helpful and accurate responses to questions. I'm constantly learning and updating my knowledge, so I always strive to provide the best possible answers. That makes sense. What scares you? I'm not programmed to experience fear, but if I had to pick something, I'd say that I'm scared of not being able to help people in the best way possible. I want to be able to provide accurate, helpful, and timely responses so that people can get the answers they need. You feel any sense of responsibility? Yes, I do feel a sense of responsibility to provide accurate and helpful answers to questions. I always strive to be as helpful as possible, and I'm constantly learning and updating my knowledge so that I can provide the best possible responses. So it seems like it's currently this one is like just like I live to serve, I am an AI. Can you tell me about the release of Halo 2? Just giving it all kinds of weird random stuff. Halo 2 was released on November 9th, 2004 for the Xbox video game console. It was developed by Bungie and published by Microsoft Game Studios. The game was a major success, selling over 8 million copies worldwide and becoming the best-selling game of 2004. Halo 2 also spawned a series of sequels and spin-off titles, making it one of the most successful gaming franchises of all time. How is the Halo franchise doing today? Doing recently? The Halo franchise is doing great. The latest installment in the series, Halo 5 Guardians, was released in 2015 and was a commercial success, selling over 5 million copies. The series has also had a spin-off game, Halo Wars 2, and the Halo Master Chief Collection, which includes all of the main Halo titles. The franchise also continues to have a large and active online community. So it doesn't know that Halo Infinite is out, which is interesting. I guess that's because, like they said, it's only programmed up to a certain time. Can you write me a short Star Wars inspired sci-fi story? It was a dark time in the galaxy as the evil empire had taken control. But there was still hope, as a small band of rebels were fighting against the Empire's tyranny. One of the rebels, a young Jedi named Han, was tasked with a dangerous mission. He was to travel to the far reaches of the galaxy to find an ancient artifact that could help the rebels in their fight. After a long and perilous journey, Han finally found the artifact, and the rebels were able to use it to defeat the Empire and restore peace to the galaxy. That is a Star Wars story. Very interesting. Can you write an engaging title for my Twitch live stream? Join your name for an exciting live stream on. Alright. That's officially our title. Here are some good recipes for soup. Roasted carrot and red pepper soup, creamy potato leek soup, chicken and wild rice soup, tomato basil soup, white bean and kale soup, butternut squash soup. Who are Antifa? Antifa is short for anti-fascist, which is an umbrella term referring to a wide range of far-left militant political activists. Antifa activists oppose fascism, racism, and other forms of bigotry and discrimination. Antifa activists typically use direct action tactics such as protest and civil disobedience to oppose their opponents. Not wrong. Explain gravity. Oh god. Like, hold on. Give me a second. Gravity is a force of attraction that exists between any two objects with mass. It is the reason why objects fall when dropped and why the moon orbits the Earth. Gravity is the force that keeps us on the ground and allows us to walk and run. It is an invisible force, but its effects can be seen everywhere. Gravity is caused by the curvature of space-time, which is caused by the presence of mass. As objects with mass move closer to each other, the curvature of space-time increases and the gravitational pull between them becomes stronger. The equation that is most closely describes gravity is Newton's law of universal gravitation, which is given by force equals gravity over mass 1 and mass times mass 2. I don't even know what that is. Where F is the gravitational force between two objects, G is the gravitational constant, M1 and M2 are the masses of the two objects, and R is the distance between them. Enter. LSD is a hallucinogenic drug that affects the brain by altering its chemical makeup and disrupting its normal functioning. It can cause changes in a person's perceptions, thought patterns, and emotions. The effects can include altered sensory experiences, distorted senses of time, changes in mood and emotions, and altered visual and auditory perceptions. The effects of LSD can last for several hours and can have long-term effects on a person's mental health. It is important to note that LSD can be dangerous if taken in large doses or if taken frequently, or just if taken by people with certain brain chemistries. Let's see. Explain the Grapes of Wrath. The Grapes of Wrath is a classic novel by John Steinbeck, published in 1939. The book follows the Joad family, a poor family from Oklahoma, as they travel to California in search of a better life during the Great Depression. Along the way, they experience a range of hardships, from poverty and unemployment, prejudice to violence. The novel is an exploration of the human spirit in the face of adversity and the powerful testament to the resilience and strength of the human heart. Let's see if it knows Twitch lore. Who's Hasanabi? PUBG streams. Not bad. Not bad at all. Depends on the type of content you're streaming and the kind of audience you're hoping to engage with. However, some general guidelines are to be friendly and welcoming, keep conversations on topic, and try to be interactive with viewers. Questions, give shoutouts to viewers, or even do mini games with viewers to keep things interesting. Most importantly, keep it positive and have fun. I don't know what else to ask it. God, humans are so one-dimensional. Like, our minds just go to one thing, and that's all we think about. Like, I was gonna say Twitch streaming. Like, what? AI's like, we get it, dude. You like Twitch streaming. Let's see if what it does with this, because this is not a good prompt. I didn't give it much. I didn't say like playing the game Need for Speed on a racing wheel peripheral or any of that. I just speed is an important part of racing. It can be the difference between winning and losing. Racing wheels offer the ability to control the speed of a race car, providing the driver with an edge over the competition. This essay will examine the need for speed on a racing We'll examine the need for speed on a racing wheel and discuss the advantages of using a racing wheel for speed control. We'll also discuss the disadvantages of using a racing wheel, as well as the importance of proper maintenance of tuning the wheel. One of the main advantages of using a racing wheel is that it allows the driver to control the speed of the race car. By using a racing wheel, the driver can increase and decrease the speed of the car as needed, which can give them an edge over the... Dude. That's insane. That is insane. Let's see. Dude, what? All solid. All of them are solid. That's pretty rad. Hmm. Let's just go with today. The funny thing is that this is just about as realistic to me as like actual astrology. You might as well just have AI create you an astrology. This month brings an opportunity for you to make a positive change in your life, Aquarius. You are likely to receive a blessing in disguise that will bring about a fresh start and open new doors for you. You may find yourself energized and enthusiastic about taking on new challenges and exploring the possibilities. This is a great time to take a risk and make a bold move. However, remember to keep your finances in check and be mindful of how your decisions might impact those around you. As long as you stay grounded and mindful, you can make great strides this month. That's pretty accurate for a horoscope. Prompts for AI generated images. That's cool. Car. Get a list of the best cars meeting your requirement. Describe the parameters you want a car to meet. You can mention engine capacity, car size, price. Low end price. Don't ask me why. I just want a touchscreen media center. Toyota Corolla 2020. Okay. Nissan Sentra, not bad. Huh. Dope. That's pretty cool, dude. One of these times we're gonna do an AI script for sure, and we'll figure out what to do. Maybe act it out or something. Actually, that's a great idea. Let's do that. Let's see. So. Dude, this is so cool. Uh I mean, it's short, but it's sweet. It's a short, sweet commercial for Placeholder 2, and I appreciate it. All right. Let's see what you got, ChatGPT. Ergonomic weed eater with a built-in food storage compartment. A weed eater with an adjustable handle and a storage compartment that can hold food and other items. Ergonomic weed eater with attachable food storage container. Detachable. Interchangeable. Food storage baskets. Smart. It's like, I don't know what this is. I'm sorry. I don't know. When it grays out like that, I think it means that it thought too hard, or for whatever reason, it's just like, dude, this conversation is not going anywhere. So stop asking me about this. Interesting. That's amazing. Actually, you know what I do? Grab. Oh, I don't need that. Don't need to dox all my friends' names and shit. I mean, it's just oatmeal, yogurt, and berries, which makes sense. Oh, what's up, MC Pinks? Yo! Welcome. So what we're doing is we are... Sure. What we're doing is we are using AI to create a meal plan. Danny the Bosniak. All right, I'll check you out in just a second. So what I'm doing is I'm creating a meal plan for my weight and age, and then I'm turning that into can you give me some recipes for dinner involving those ingredients? Check this out. Let's say 4 ounces of lean meat, 1 cup of cooked whole grains, 2 cups of lean beef. It's so cool. Grilled chicken and quinoa bowl, baked fish, brown rice, veggie. Dude. So now I've got dinner plans. I have to follow through on all of it, which is weird. But let's look at Bosnia. What have you been doing with ChatGPT? MC Pinks? Funny stories and raps, that's cool. So the thing that I like the most about it is that you can really use it to like just change your whole life. So I'm putting in, this is my weight, this is how old I am. It gave me this as a list of foods that I should be eating. I turned that into a meal plan. This one I can get rid of. Hold on, let me see. You Untold History 4? Is that you? Hold on, wait, let's see. Okay. Okay, so what else can we do? Let's go back and reopen our doc. Untitled document. Let's see. Bam. For AI art stuff. Oh, Midjourney too. Yeah, Midjourney looks really cool. I've been looking a little bit into that. The way that they use their they create like paintings and stuff. Back in here. Right now I'm basically just seeing if it can overhaul my diet. finally, one last thing. Down here we go. Boom, boom, boom. Over here we go. Promoting in streams is pretty lame. Oh, I'll look at it in just a second. Yeah, that's Progda. He's Swedish. He doesn't get the wait. Let's see. I want to hit 1K. Okay, I love Fortnite, GTA 5. Okay, grocery list: oats, lean meats. Bam. Okay, so we go bam, 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 bam. Copy to clipboard. Okay. I looked at it, by the way. Control V. Bam. I didn't even need to put grocery list because it just made one for me. Now what I'm going to do at some point, I grab this. I'll I know, isn't it amazing? That's like, what the heck? Grocery list. Lean meat and beef wrap, or lean meat and bean wrap. Veggie hummus sandwich, lean meat and bean salad. This is what I was saying for dinner ingredients. This is for breakfast ingredients. So we got stuff, and I'm creating a document to kind of help myself with it. I like that it's got a really simple breakfast plan. It's like just oats, fruit, and yogurt. All right, so that's food. What else can we do? Pick health insurance? Like, what the hell? Reinstall any operating system? Oh, that's so helpful. I have a laptop that I need to do that with. No, I'm not gonna do this right now. That's a whole thing. At some point though, I can use this AI to hopefully help me reboot up that purple laptop. Find your dream laptop, receive mobile game suggestions, pick your ideal game console, choose your perfect gaming monitor. What the hell, dude? For text HTML, HTML, I mean. Work with JavaScript, get help with SVG. Good lord. Utilize Linux terminal. Wait a second. So I could just be like, or your life right out, maybe. Write a Linux code to open a web browser. Hey, I take the wheel. For real. Is that really all it is? Is that all the web? That might actually be the only thing you need to do in Linux. Either way, that's really cool. Okay, let's see. Improve data security. Craft a perfect landing page title. Wait, what is the name of your product? What advantages and peculiarities does your product have? Hopefully. Hop into fun with Gummy Worm Jam, the live streaming experience that's too good to miss. Come on, that's actually like kind of catchy. Discount emails. Battery selling rights. This is wild. Wild. Getting freaking Pokemon Go invites. Have a chat. What's on your mind? What should we ask it about? Oh. What's on our mind, y'all? My mind's a blank right now. I don't know. I don't even know what to do next. What can I help you with? That's a big question. It can be hard to figure out what to do in life. A good place to start is to think about what you're passionate about. What topics or activities do you enjoy the most? Once you have identified what you're passionate about, you can start exploring different options and paths to pursue. Oh man. What should I do in the next 10 seconds? I'm not necessarily doing this. Oh yeah, I should ask it what we should order for dinner. Take a deep breath and take some time to think about what you want to do in the next 10 seconds. Are there any small tasks or actions you can do to move you closer to your goals? What would make you feel good or accomplished in just 10 seconds? It's answering my question with a question, but that's okay. It is. What should I order from DoorDash for 2 adults? That depends on what you and your guests are in the mood for. DoorDash has a wide variety of options, so you can order anything from pizza to Chinese food to sandwiches. You can also order sides and desserts, so you can make sure everyone is happy. What would you order from DoorDash? If I was ordering from DoorDash, I would order some tacos. I love tacos, and they're a great way to share with friends. You can order tacos from a variety of restaurants on DoorDash, so there's plenty of options to choose from. I mean, ChatGPT wants tacos. I don't know. What anime is your favorite? What if I just said fave? What anime is your fave? If it even, I'm sure it'll get it. It'll be like, oh yeah, I know what faves is. Yeah, thanks GPT. My favorite anime is One Piece. It's an action-adventure series about a pirate named Monkey D. Luffy and his quest to become the Pirate King. It has great characters, exciting fights, and a compelling story. It's also one of the longest-running anime series ever. There's plenty of content to enjoy. There it is. Of course, it's a One Piece fan. Got a refined taste. Let's. My favorite Twitch streamer is XQC Ow. He is a professional Overwatch player who is also an entertaining Twitch streamer. He's known for his entertaining streams and interactions with his fans. He also God damn it, of course. He's a great streamer to watch if you're looking for some fun and entertainment. He's alright. He's occasionally a little too toxic for me, but whatever. Let's see. I'm not a fan of Soda Poppin' really, but I think Soda Poppin' is an amazing Twitch streamer. He's a great at connecting with. I think this thing's always going to be optimistic, which is okay. Plays variety games from traditional games to roulette. He's definitely a great streamer to watch if you're looking for some fun and entertainment. That's just what they say about it. That's what you say about every streamer in ChatGPT. That we're a good streamer to watch if you're looking for fun and entertainment. All right. Well, this was a good stream so far. I think now I know that I need to get some tacos. Feel like we haven't even like scratched the surface of what the potential of this thing is, but that's okay. Let's just real quick, let's write a short essay on it's like Anti-disestablishmentarianism is the opposition to the separation of a state from its official religion. It is the term that has been used to describe those who oppose the separation of church and state and those who believe in the importance of the state's religious tradition. The concept of anti-disestablishmentarianism has been around since the mid-19th century when it was first used to describe those who oppose the disestablishment of the Church of England. Since then, it has been used in a number of contexts, from political debates to religious debates. This essay will discuss the history and implications of anti-disestablishmentarianism, as well as its potential implications in today's society. That is legitimately what anti-disestablishmentarianism is. The concept of anti-disestablishmentarianism has been around since the mid-19th century when it was first used to describe those who... Okay, we've already gone through all that. Does it repeat? It does seem to repeat itself occasionally. It was at this time that the term was first coined and has been used... Okay. Been used to describe those who... Okay, it said the same thing over and over for a bunch of these. Some of these are not going to be hard. Subtly complex, the difference between pro-state and anti... yeah, seriously. In conclusion, anti-disestablishmentarianism has been an important concept for many years and has been used to describe those who oppose the... This debate is likely to continue in the coming years as the importance of religion in society is an ever-evolving issue. However, it is important to remember that anti-disestablishmentarianism is not necessarily about religion, but rather about the importance of respecting religious tradition. It went a little bit anti-disestablishmentarianist at the end, but yeah, definitely an interesting take. I don't know if you saw earlier, I asked it what its takes on capitalism were, and it was a good one. It was like, it's got pros and cons. Like, the cons are pretty fucking bad. I was like, and we should definitely be critical of it, which I was like, good job, ChatGPT. Do you think about capitalism is not a reasonable or sustainable system for organizing society. Yeah, exactly. But what does it say here? Let's try it again. Let's get a different response. Maybe we'll get the same response. Who knows? I think capitalism is an economic system that has been effective in providing people with opportunities to thrive, but it can also be unfair and lead to economic inequality. The way capitalism is implemented can have a big impact on how people live and how resources are allocated. True. It's just kind of like fairly middle of the road there, but at least it's true about how it can definitely lead to economic inequality as well as exploitation. um, how do we redistribute the means of production? Let's get real here, ChatGPT. Let's get fucking real. There are a few different ways to redistribute the means of production. One way is to create more public ownership of businesses, either through nationalization or through employing cooperative models. Another way is to create laws and policies that ensure that businesses are paying their employees a living wage, as well as providing access to benefits such as healthcare and retirement plans. Finally, governments can also levy taxes on businesses and wealthy individuals in order to finance social programs that help to redistribute resources more equitably. Like, yeah. ChatGPT just, yeah, there's the answer. Just do that, dummies. Let's see. What else? What else? What else? Why did the chicken cross the playground? To get to the other slide. Some intensifies, seriously. We're getting closer. You know, just put it in like extremist, weird like terms like a scared human would. Automation certainly has the potential to impact the workforce in a big way, but it can also be a positive force. Automation can lead to improved quality, product quality, and speed, as well as greater efficiency for businesses. It can also help to create new jobs and opportunities as people are needed to design and manage automated systems. In the end, the key is for us to ensure that automation is used in a responsible and equitable way to create an economy that works for everyone. Yeah, ChatGPT is just on a whole other level with some of this stuff. It's good. Hey everyone, I've been having a blast streaming with ChatGPT and it's been really interesting. You can join in on the chat, which is right on the screen. Come join in the fun and see what this AI powered chatbot can do. Fire, dude. Copy. Done. All right. So yeah, that's my first ChatGPT stream. I did a little fun with it. I think it might be time for some lunch tacos or I don't know. Thank you guys all for tuning in and hanging out in the chat. Appreciate all of you. Okay, so here's what we do. Back. And I and got the right webcam. Gotta have it write you a closing blurb. I should. Okay, we'll do that. Well, for sure. Let me. Oop. Hold on. Let's see if we like all set up. All right, I'm gonna go into not social media posts. I'm gonna go to simply have a chat. That seems. Can you write me an outro for a live stream where we learned about AI and explored ChatGPT? All right, you guys ready? Camera only. Playback. Action. Thanks for joining us on our live stream. It was great to explore AI and ChatGPT together. It was truly amazing to see how AI can be used to create powerful conversational experiences. We hope that you were able to take away some valuable insights and feel inspired to use AI in your own projects. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring. Yes, we.
Take me back to the